Driver's Ed and Welder's Ed, and how I can help get you certified. What's going on, family? My name is Black Feniks, and I am the owner of HogOn Welding LLC and the founder of Welding and Hip Hop, and the founder of HogOn University, and the founder of Imagine Your Container. So, I just wanted to say that and talk to you a little briefly this morning about how I can help you and what the difference is from driver's ed and welder's ed, because I wanted to keep this simple so people can really understand how I can help benefit you as becoming a certified welder and starting a career. So when we take driver's ed is to help educate us on the guidelines, how to drive, the laws, things to look out for, how to protect ourselves, how to maneuver ourselves before we even start driving, certain PPE, you know what I'm saying, that is needed, and certain procedures you have to take before you actually put it in gear. So being a independent welding instructor, to me it's the same thing because the ed means education. So we have to break the myth of thinking that education has to come from a college. They had designed this myth to allow many of Americans to get in debt over time. And certain procedures and things do need college, I would say, or do need a higher education. But they do have programs and education things available where you can go straight to the source. To me, I call college a middleman in certain things where it can charge you more and then have people actually teach you how to do something or get certified in the class that the people that's actually teaching you are not doing what they're certifying you in. And to me, I think that that's a conflict of interest, even though that you can get this information from some that's actually practicing. But a lot of times you'll learn business from someone that never ran a business. So how can you actually learn some valuable jewels from them other than the research they did and what they can tell you statistically now? And it does work when you give numbers like, well, this works, but have you did it though? How is your emotional connection? And a lot of times you need to get that from an entrepreneur or someone that's actually in it, a small business owner, someone that's actually getting their hands dirty. They can give you more information on the process of doing what you're doing. And I wanted to use driver's ed because it's something that everybody pretty much is familiar with, especially the process of learning. We know when we go to driver's ed, the driver's ed doesn't give us our license. Now, this is actually two welding certs. This is a cert right here that is unlimited. This is my 6G cert that is half inch on schedule 80 pipe. So I got a half inch cert that I can weld on schedule 40 and schedule 80. And then I have a unlimited 3G cert that I can weld on mild steel, inch and above, eighth inch and above. And all of these certs that I have got, even though I had to learn it, I still, and I do have these certs, I still have to go when I try to do certain contracts in the field, I still have to take weld tests. So the knowledge that I've already gained prepared me for the position that I'm going for. So it's just like going to driver's ed where you have to learn how to drive. And once this person teach you how to drive and you get the principles and you get everything down pat, now you're fully ready and capable to go take the test yourself. But in driver's ed, a lot of times you have to take a physical test, write it down, answer this question, and then you also have to take a driver's test. Now, when it comes to being a certified welder, that's one thing that can help. And also, I have noticed that have discouraged other welders from becoming welders. Now, I know some welders that wasn't very good in school, and some of those things keep like, man, I got to go in there and take a physical test. I got to remember a whole lot of stuff. And I'll be like, nah, you got to take a physical test. You have to show your muscle memory. You go in here and you can pass this physical test, and I teach you how to weld. All you have to do is go past this and have your certs and keep them updated in your pocket if that's what you want, or you'll be able to confident go to any job and say, okay, I can take this weld test, and if they're doing a flat or horizontal or vertical or overhead or whatever you're learning, you can be able to jump in with whatever process, MIG, stick, flux core. That is very common right now. MIG, flux core, and stick is very booming right now because it's more economical and it's in the field. Now, TIG welding is an asset. Don't let me say, I want to say that to get that straight. It is an asset, and it's, for a lot of chemical plants, a lot of different shutdowns require stainless pipe, um, uh, basically a lot of stainless. You know what I mean? And you TIG aluminum, but it won't be a lot of aluminum pipe. It'll be more aluminum. I mean, aluminum structural parts or pieces or whatever you're putting together. I remember working for a company called Tailor Made where I worked on ambulances, and I did all the diamond plate around it in aluminum. And some things that had stainless, but it basically was aluminum. So when you're learning driver's ed actually teaches you how to drive, teaches you how to jump in the vehicle, how to put your seatbelt on, what to look out for, make sure your mirror right. And the same thing with welding, because you have to know how to set your machine. You have to know what type of amperage to set it on, or what type of rod you're using, what's the difference on the thickness of the metal. So it's certain things you have to learn, but once you get it, it's just like driving a vehicle, family. It's muscle memory. And the cool thing about it is you can take your driver's license, like I have a driver's license. You take your driver's license to any state and you can drive. You can take your welding certifications to any state, your welding skills to any state, and get some money. So I wanted to compare both of them because they are very similar. And I know a brother who actually teaches driver's education. Shout out to Willie. When he came into my class and he wanted to learn welding, he took one of my welding courses, MIG welding courses, and he learned the difference from MIG and flux core. He learned how to actually form a bead. He learned how to get that cosmetic effect he was looking for. He even learned why you drive have to drive faster or slower, slow it down, so to speak, you know what I mean, in certain positions and certain things on how to fill gaps. So it was entertaining and refreshing for both of us to see, he's an educator, I'm an educator, and we both learning from one another because he literally teaches driver's ed, and here I'm teaching welder's ed, and we both sharpening one another. So if you get a chance, check out that video. It's welding courses Q&A. I think I have one or two up as of now, or three up as of now. But I wanted to show the difference of the two and how similar they are, because a lot of people ask me, can I come to you and get straight certified? Now, my goal in the future is where you can come to me. Not only do I teach you how to weld, I can also do the weld test, and those are two separate situations. Now, when you go to college and you have to do the 2 years, that's included. But when you learn it independently and you're doing it yourself, there's ways to save money, but there's still prices and procedures you have to pay. Like normally, right now, the weld test is going to range anywhere from $150 to $400, depends on what you're trying to do. And to be honest with you, most people, the most common cert to get is a 3/8 plate, 3G, 4G, or 6G cert, because 6G will cover down. But also knowing that if you get a 4G, it doesn't cover 3G. So you still have to take the 3G. So if you covered 3, it'll take the 4. But I think the 4 doesn't cover the 3, so you still have to take the vertical. So having a vertical cert like this one, 3G Unlimited, can get you money anywhere, family. You can travel anywhere with a 3G welding cert and get some money. And also a company will invest in you if they needed to get something else, you know what I mean? But I think that we have to learn that education doesn't have to be college. So I'm giving a valuable education in my hometown in McGee, Arkansas. I'm actually teaching independent welding courses. Now, as of now, I have a few different welding courses that's available. I have a welding course that is actually 6 to 8 hours for $250, and you can pick MIG welding, flux core, or stick welding. Then I actually have one that's $750, where it's 30 hours, and it's MIG welding or stick welding, whichever one, or flux core, whichever one a person want to learn. Then I have one that's $1,500. That one is more in depth, and it can be a more of a combo. You can get two. You can learn two instead of one. And the one you spend $1,500 for, and that one is actually a 80-hour course. And then I have basically a 30-hour course, which is pretty much um, a month of 40 hours a week, pretty much, and basically learning the combo. So, I have some people that want to say, hey, man, I want to learn TIG welding, MIG welding, and stick. That's what that course is for. You're basically going to get a brush over of everything. And then a cool thing that I do, if anybody participate in one of my courses, they can always reach back out for me for information. If they in the area, just like if you go to a weld school and you're in the area, you can go there and weld. That's the same thing you can do for me. Hey, if you finished and you took my course and you're in the area, you want to practice, all you have to do is bring your own material. You bring your welding rod, your wire. We set you up. I let you burn. You can use the equipment because to me, you're already a member. You have already invested in yourself. So I try to make it easy, and I also want to form a network. When it comes to jobs, I try to keep people in the loop and let them know if they're looking for employment, because some people are business owners and they're starting businesses and building products. Other clients are looking for jobs and looking for employment, so everybody is different. So I try to help everyone be able to find a niche and figure out what they want. But I can say that it's very popular right now, stick welding and MIG welding and flux core, which is flux core is a process of MIG welding, just a different process. So you have one with gas and one without gas. And if you're doing anything in the field, like a field welder that does mobile welding, bridge welding, you can do flux core, but most on the bridge they require 7018 because of the alloy and the flex in it. And it have more tensile strength than regular flux core, unless you're using a certain type of shield gas. And if you got the elements in the wind, you can't use that. So I just wanted to give you a understanding that we need education, from driver's ed to welding education to education on being a certain type of professional in whatever field that you're pursuing. It's about the education. So don't get caught up in thinking you got to have the big debt. Some of us have jumped in getting the education and we get the debt, and some people don't even use what they got debt in. Like, I know a lady that's actually a manager, and I don't know if she actually went to school to be a manager, but she got education, but she's still paying debt and 50 years old. So do you want to say I'm making a little bit like what she's making? I make way more than that, and I never spent that much money in college. Never went to college. I did some college courses, but I never was enrolled in college. You know what I mean? So I think it's all about the education, getting us some good education, and learning from someone that got the experience, like an experienced driver, someone that knows the procedure, someone that knows what you should do. And everybody gonna get in there and do their own thing, but you aware of the knowledge of your surroundings. You know what need to be done, and that's how I help you. I'm going to give you the hands-on knowledge, skills to get you equipped to go and take these tests. So if you go to an AWS facility, like this is my AWS card, you go to an AWS facility, or you go to a AWS CWI that's licensed to train, either or, you can get these cards and you can pay for this. And just like going to get your license, if you spend $35 for a license, you also, you're available to spend $150 to $400 for your search. Now, like I say, that's only for those who want it in their pocket, want to travel, they want to go different places. And I can say having your certs in your pocket, at least one, in the field you're trying to get, is going to help the opportunity be better. So it ain't like you can just have the skills and just get it, and you can, because you got to frame your resume up. And that's something else that we'll talk about, how to get your resume prepared and how to gain the welding experience and how to stay on it. So, there's many ways, as we say in the South, to skin a cat. So don't get caught up in thinking there's only one way to get education. Education is something that we pass down. That's why we love to have the elders, those who older over us, the those seasoned iron workers that come under, and then you got your journeyman, and then you got your apprentices. You want to learn from those who've been doing it for a while. That way you can take it, because you might not use that verbatim, because you're going to develop your own style, but you'll see how that information was so valuable to your process, so valuable to you being confident in gaining this new skill. So I just wanted to show you the difference between the two and say how I can help you. Like I say, I'm in McGee, Arkansas right now. My email is HogOn Welding, HOGON Welding at gmail.com. My business number is 870-501-1974. That's 870-501-1974. The website is HogOnWelding.com. That's HogOnWelding.com. So when you get time, visit it, check it out. I appreciate it. For those who want to get some education, I'm in Arkansas. I'm back in my home state. I'm living in McGee, Arkansas, which is I'll be teaching out of there. And I travel the area too. So at the moment, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, but I also travel. So I like to say that when you get in your hog on, sometimes you have to lead by example. And one of my big examples coming back into my home state, is back into my hometown after 27 years, is to, you know, I can say that, oh, I'm a welder instructor. I can help you gain this skill. I'm a independent welder. I'm a fabricator. But if I don't show you physically, it's gonna be hard. Even though Arkansas, the natural state, we almost like the show me state. We want to see too. Let me see what you can do, because that's what they want to see. So I showed you physically. I put up some archives recently of me taking a D1 test unlimited. I passed it. Everything went good with flying colors. I actually got the contract. I'm here now. Today, the elevations didn't come in, so we can't start like we was wanting to start. So I actually got a day to just regroup. So I'm gonna take advantage of the day, and I wanted to come to you with some information, let you know that my goal is to educate. This is actually the last year that I want to go out and actually do contracts like this. Like, this is not something that I want to do on a seasonal basis, but my goal is to stay involved. So I wanted to use this as a stepping stone, help this company, help the bridge, and actually, to be born in Little Rock and to be from Arkansas and to participate on this project that will outlive me. To me, is living to be remembered. And I'm also leading by example, putting information out, helping some people get some employment, get some jobs, some people building some relationships. And I think that is valuable. I have a couple things that I've done in Arkansas that to me are big for those who are in the Fayetteville, Arkansas area, or visit Hog City, as we like to call it. If you go down to Dixon Street and you look at the art center, the new Walton Art Center, it got an overhang. It got a new design, and it has two long beams that actually support the overhang. I welded one of those beams, which was actually the reason why it exists. It was only two welders that actually passed the test, and I was one of them, and I actually weld one whole beam solid. So I was responsible for that, and that will be there forever. So all my kids and my grandbabies and those who actually visit that area know that, hey man, my granddaddy did that. My daddy did that. My great granddaddy did that. To me, that's cool. And to weld on this bridge and to be a part of this project, my kids can say, man, my daddy was there. My daddy went from this. And to me personally, me being here and going to prison at a young age, I did a decade in prison, 10 years, and got incarcerated at 15, ended up getting out of prison at 26, and doing that process, and also staying out 5 years and going back at 30 for a year basically, and regrouping, and being out now over 10 years, or 10 years, off of papers, free from that drama, teaching, welding, finding myself. I can't say that all of that didn't make me who I am today. So I'm thankful that I had to experience that, because I gained some knowledge now that I can really give back to the younger generation. I can really tell them that, hey, I experienced this. I didn't walk this way. I didn't did this, man. I didn't, and just to be honest. So I think that the education comes from the wisdom too, and it comes from the process. And a lot of times we don't want to go through it when we go through it, but once you survive it, you got a story to tell. And I think the process of learning welding, maybe getting burnt or sparks, um, I think that's part of the process that's going to help you remember it, and it's going to make it very valuable for you. So driver's ed, welder's ed, both of them is education. Both of them can be taught by an independent instructor, someone that is skilled, seasoned, that can actually give you some tools and some wisdom and can help you get over the hump. Both of these are classes that you even pay for or programs you go through. But I think it takes self initiative to get into both because you really want it. Some people got to have it, like drivers, but you don't have to have the welding, but you got to have it. But to me, I'm just saying that the welding thing, going through that process, is you hungry. If you're hungry and you want to learn welding, I'm in Arkansas now, and my goal is to help you. I'm gonna be traveling, but this is gonna be my headquarters. So if you want to learn independent welding, if you want to learn welding from a black welder standpoint, then you're black and you say, hey man, I want to learn from someone like me that can actually teach me the same. I want to help you because I'm here. I was sent for my people, but I'm here to help everyone. Just like Christ was sent to the Jews first, and then he came and gave the word to the Gentiles. I feel like I'm was sent to help my people, but I'm willing to help anyone get over the hump because we are all connected. We are all God's people in my eyes. So I want to be able to provide an education that can actually help set a person free, give them something that won't put them in debt, and can take their lives to the next level. So with that being said, visit the website www.hogonwelding. That's www.hogonwelding. And if you're looking for some gear, check out Amazon. Put in hogonwelding.com. Separate the hog and the on. Put welding and put a hoodie, t-shirt, what you're looking for, and get you some gear and keep getting your hog on. Black Phoenix.